Hello,
wait. I'm not
yeah,
looking
I figured you were going to do that. Good evening, GMAN 5A. As
5A.
usual,
Woo!
yeah,
Spring break.
this isn't spring break.
I don't know. It's something.
Yeah, it's murder
Hello,
break, more like.
5A.
Yeah, what
Woo!
he said. We're back for yet another week, and this time I've just decided to bring in the usual shit that Nugget does, so we're not clipping that. So we're gonna just do what we normally do, and we're gonna look at last week's results. We're gonna look at the teams, then we're gonna look at this coming week's matches, and some of them have already been played. You naughty buggers. We'll take a look at the leaderboard, and finally we'll look at the tipping comp. So, Nugget, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, we've got Hippie versus Metal here. The Amazing Strippers versus the Full Metal Alchemists. Metal dicing the crap out of Hippie, I think, is the result there, and Hippie's spiral of death sadly continuing.
Yes, such is the
It was
life of Wood
always,
Elves.
yeah, it was always going to be tough with the amount of mighty blow and tackle that Metal did have for Hippie. I mean, I think that the only thing you can say was at least he didn't have a dead war dancer again. So I think
that's at least something.
maybe, yeah, that's maybe the first week in about 5 he's not had a dead war dancer.
Yeah. So I mean, pulling out another win, which is great for Metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just Kenry dicing the ever-loving fuck out of Wood Elves, as Wood Elves deserve. Nothing much to say. So looking at the dead polls against the Rockomotive Git Crushers, Hummersep yet again proving that it doesn't matter to base or not, you can still pull off wins. So yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah. Definitely. He's been on quite a wee bit of a roll recently.
Yeah. Hummersep has
next.
done. Yeah, Hummersep has done really well. It's with the with the basing zons.
The basing zones. Yeah. Although, have you seen? I was going to say. We'll look at that in a minute. We'll look at the levels in a minute.
Yep.
But no, it was a really good result for Hummersep. We did kind of say, I think, that the lack of tackle might hurt the Necro a wee bit.
It seems like it did hurt the Necro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, going over to the Blessed Ones against Fecal Fantasy. Zinj pulling off a cheeky win there. Which is, quite nice.
Definitely back to winning ways, or dicing ways it was this week. Nurgle v Chaos, it is always down to a lot of the casualties, the regens, the armor breaks, everything like that. It was a very pillow hands game from what I've seen. Not very many casualties or anything like that, which is something the whole division is probably quite disappointed about.
I think a lot of people wanted the Nurgle to just sort of crumble into bits and pieces.
Definitely.
But Zinj, I believe Zinj mentioned this in the division Discord. Like, he get the ref twice and just had 2 dirty player rotters. It was just a good time for him and the dirty player rotters.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think he also mentioned that he still refused to get the 3rd reroll, which he will get now. I'll guarantee you that.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any more Pestigors to buy. Well, he does, but he knows. He even knows now he shouldn't buy them. But we'll get to the team.
He'll probably just do it in spite, just not to listen to you.
But then he'll lose, which is a win-win for me. Hat-Trick's getting a draw against the Delicacies of Doom. Quite a big result there from the Delicacies of Doom, I'd have to say, against the Chorfs.
Yeah.
Chorf's been on, Berserk's been on a really good run, so really, really big result there for the Delicacies of Doom.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's Gajai's well done in pulling off the draw against Berserk. You've sort of stopped or slowed down the roll. We'll have to see if the rest of his opponents can, stop the Chorf train.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you seem to skip over one, the Kleptocrats against Full Metal's Alchemists.
I wanted to leave that for you to do, because I know how much you like that.
I'm just going to go and cry in a corner. Nah, but in all honesty, picking up a solid win for Razzle, the 3-0 win is just amazing, and it's what Kislev really should do against Khemri, because once that ball is out, it's Kislev's ball, because it's not easy for the Khemri to pick it up, and as long as he's got 1 or 2 tackle zones on the ball, it's going to be virtually impossible.
Yeah, no, definitely. Kids, you boys better watch out in this division that these kids left don't just start destroying you because of all the development they're sneaking up.
Yeah.
Um,
There
last up.
is there is one last thing.
Oh, oh, oh.
Just apparently, just don't be afraid of Pyro TJ's team because they seem to be very weak.
Yes, seem to be. Last up, Chubstep versus Ambitonique. Dwarfs v Rats.
I
Let's.
I, I watched
I
this game
did you?
and
Did Chubstep get some levels at last?
he did get some levels, and I'm really happy for him that he's finally actually managed to do something.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Rat Ogre still survived. That's all I care about.
Yep. It's still alive and ready to demolish Metal's team.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Chubstep getting the levels, I think that's all he could really hope for, and pulling off the cheeky draw as well.
Mm-hmm.
Really the best case
Definitely.
scenario for the Dwarfs, to be honest.
Had to be.
You,
Had to be.
you forgot the Dark Elf Mirror. You're really good at skipping matches.
Who?
Yes.
Just be tripping.
Yeah.
You skipped them.
No, you skipped them.
Shushed you.
Nah, Dark Elf
Doesn't matter
Mirror.
what order they get them in.
Nah, but the Dark Elf Mirror, I don't remember if we predicted Ravers taking this, the Serpents of Innerrook, but I mean, Crow Dog being able to pull off the win, it could have really come down. It really did come down to that plus Agi Blitzer, because that's just yeah.
We, if I remember correctly, we couldn't really call it between which one was going to do the damage. So it was a surprise that it was 2-1. Looking at it and such, obviously the SPP development's nice. Both, you know what I mean, scored a couple of passes, a couple of touchdowns. You know what I mean? They obviously took advantage of the
Ravers definitely had his passing pentagram with him.
Yes. We'll need to get one of them built up for everybody soon.
Oh yes we do. So that was last week's matches. So we'll move on to the teams, starting off with the Full Metal Alchemist Metals team. Once my game stops lagging. Whoa! He picked up a cheeky block on a Tomb Guardian.
He did indeed.
That's a great skill for the Tomb Guardian. It does keep him on his feet, and it's really gonna help with that Tomb Guardian being just a general pain in the arse, really.
Yeah, definitely. So good on Tomb Guardians, getting all the blocks there. It's so good. You know what I mean? Basically,
Yeah.
he's got his Mighty Blow, Tackle, Blitzers to deal with any of the agility teams, and he's starting to, you know what I mean, get these Tomb Guardians finally leveled up.
Yeah. So I mean, Metal actually listening to us for once and getting the casualties on the Tomb Guardians.
Yes.
Two dirty player skeletons. I mean, it's two dirty player skeletons.
Yeah. It's not nice. It's not what we like to see, but it gets the job done.
Yeah. It does what Camry does when the Tomb Guardians doesn't remove everything. Which is step on anything that's on the floor. It usually works very well. Moving over to Hummersep's Rockmotive Git Crushers, aka
Hummersep, you know, the favourite for the division, the man to beat.
the favoured son.
Yes. Hummersep, the unbeatable, you know, it's not like any damage is going to happen to his zones next week or that because we're backing him so hard, but
we're definitely not jinxing it here. Nope, you're definitely going to win this match and take no damage.
But no, developing nicely, you know what I mean, getting some nice stats there,
Yeah.
getting the blitzers through the game.
Nothing has really changed since last match, so there's nothing special really to talk about.
No, there's really not.
No.
Apart from Hummersep, you're expected to win.
Yeah, and Hummersep apparently basing works, but I'm still going to advise you to stop basing with the Zons.
Yeah. Zinj here obviously getting some more nice block on those warriors as he's going away. One away from a casualty. Beast and Nurgle picking up guard. Always nice to see. Rotter, you know what I mean? He's finally stopped taking dirty player.
Yeah. I mean, Yuki Kisaragi is pretty much just line fodder at this point in time. Movement 4, strength 2.
Yeah.
But, I mean, picking up wrestle and block on two Rotters is...
Yuki is probably fireable. With the strength 2, you can never have it on the pitch. He will buy the third reroll before his next game.
Yep, and he will still have enough treasury to replace the rotter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Or keep it and just go to 12.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't hate keeping it and going to 12, so yeah.
Yep.
But
But I mean,
no, it's interesting what he's doing. He's getting some nice, quick early development on this Nurgle, which is always good, and will put him in good stead for the rest of the season.
yeah, and amazingly, that guard rotter is still alive.
Yes, sadly.
For the rest of the division, at least.
Yes. Pyro didn't have anything die this game.
Hey!
He
He
has got
does
levels
have
as well.
he does have an agi bust on a Blitzra though.
It doesn't matter. It
Yeah, it
honestly
really
does not
doesn't
matter.
matter.
It shouldn't be dodging. Doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Herringzord getting some nice levels. You know what I mean? One away, a casualty away, one MVP away. He's 2 SPP away from tackle on full. Matal.
Yeah,
It's you know what I mean? He's made a great recovery. It has to be said from the rough couple of weeks he had at the start.
great recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just another Khemri team, really.
Yeah.
Except for, I mean, lack of development on the rest of the Tomb Guardians. But just keep up trying, keep up going, Pyro. Eventually, it'll go your way, and suddenly you'll see an explosion in skills.
Hopefully. Before they all die again.
Moving over to Gajaisis Delicacies of Doom. He's been a good
They
boy
have
this
levels.
week. He's been a
Yes.
good boy this week, so we can actually talk about it.
Yes.
He does have enough for another catcher. That's the first thing we need to just clear. He does have both blitzers back on track. One of them
Yep,
even
well.
having tackle.
It does help a lot. It's a team on the upturn now. You know what I mean? After
Yep.
a rough couple of weeks, he did some vanity passing, he got some levels, and it looks like a new team almost, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really is a new team, and I think as a sort of reward for really following Nuggets thing, once we get this vanity passing pentagram made, we'll send you one, Gajais.
Yeah.
You've really lived up to earning it. So
Yeah. No, definitely nice stuff. And just, again, it's just focusing on these SPP on the positionals where you really want it, good choice. But,
yeah,
no, really nice teams, really starting to turn around now.
yeah, it's great to see that at least you're coming back from it, despite you playing pro elves.
Yes, despite that feeling in your life that's not Wood Elves.
Yeah.
Up next, got Ravers and the Serpents of Inaruk. It's not much to say from last week. It's just a Dark Elf team doing what it does best. It is getting blodge, getting sidestep.
Yep.
You know what I mean? The strength's one touchdown away by the second witch.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much all that can be said. He has got the 220k in the bank, so I really expect to see that witch elf, that extra witch elf coming in. So yeah, not much really to say there. So up
Just
next,
ticking away. It's you know what I mean? Not far away from some development, but yeah, it's just doing what Dark Elves do.
Yeah, up next, McNugget's favorite team, coached by his favorite coach. With
Tanique is my favourite coach after Hummerset. The Roger is still alive. The Roger is going to get claw before it plays metal. That's all I'm saying.
You're calling it now?
If it gets a double and he takes block, I'm banning him from Rebel. Ambi Tanique, you better take claw on the double.
We will find a way to ban you, apparently, despite bending the rules to our...
Not find a way, we'll do it. Because Metal's going to complain that I've banned the rats from facing him.
They did manage to play their game before we could do the recap, but he, in his last game, lost a blodge step runner, or gutter runner, which kind of sucks, but, you know, it makes me happy to... makes me happy to see. It definitely makes me happy to see that there is one less skilled gutter runner on the team.
However, it does just give him another chance to roll plus agi or plus move.
Yeah, that's true. So it's sort of a good way of recycling.
Yes. Naughty Rats is still sticking in there with that rat's going to roll like strength or something good. You know what I mean? He's been hanging about for so long.
I mean, it really is just a dead line rat that is nothing other than line fodder.
It's so good to see, though. But yeah. Ambi Tanique, you keep it up, mate. I want to see Claw on that Roger from Metal's game. And
And
then up next, Well, you watched the game. You discussed the Chubb step. Oh, look at those levels.
Yeah, this is what I was saying. I spoke to him after the match. I think I was actually on cast with him or something.
Were you
But
not on cast
I
for
spoke.
both of them?
Yeah, I was. And I spoke to Chubstep after the match, and he was like, "Oh, I don't really know what to take." And he's like, "Well, take Mighty Blow." He didn't know what to take on the Blitzer. It's like, take Mighty Blow. Because you're lacking Mighty Blow. It gives you Mighty Blow on a non-frenzy piece, in case you don't want to be frenzy trapped, or you can easily get frenzy trapped. And, you know, it's on an Agi 3 AV9 piece, so if it's isolated, it can handle more of a punch from the Troll Slayer, than the Troll Slayers can. And obviously picking up 3 very nice guard pieces that will really help with the offensive LOS blocks.
Yes.
So, Chubstep, hopefully we'll start to see
Some
a
victories.
lot. Yeah, some victories, because you're outguarding everyone now. And as dwarves, that is just so important. So just keep up the good work, and I want to see that second runner there as well. Because having one is just not enough. Even if it is a blodge piece, if it does go down and the Apo fails, you're done.
Yeah.
You really are done.
Up next, one of the glorious things that you will see.
Is that an AV busted Witch Elf?
Yeah.
Woo! So that's an immediate firing once he has the money to replace that.
Yep.
That's just gonna pull you down, Crodog, if you keep that piece. I played Season 10 with an AV6 War Dancer, and it just somehow managed to stay alive, despite it being hit at every opportunity possible. And then in my last game of Season 10, it just collapsed and broke his neck. Literally died. So, I mean, that's definitely going to happen to that Witch Elf as well. It's basically a halfling with a better agility, better movement, and better strength.
Definitely.
Yeah. Not really much else to say. He does have Mighty Blow on a Blitzer, which is, I mean, in my opinion, the correct choice. He does have that guard lineman, but I really like the Mighty Blow Blitzer if they do
I
roll
do as
doubles.
well. That's really nice. That's really nice.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
So just keep it up, Crodog. Nothing else to say, really. Speak of the devil, Berserk.
Oh. Break, tackle, dodge. Nice. It still needs block, and it's still a lot of SPP going on hobgoblins.
Yeah, you're the standing Chorf expert here, so...
I am. So, Step on the Head, Break My Bones, and Blood Axe got all the SPP last game. So, 2 hobgoblins and a Chorf blocker got the SPP. I say every position, and I know it's easy to sit here and say it, but you need to be getting some levels on these Bull Centaurs and the Chorf blockers. You will start finding yourself outbashed, out-controlled, out-skilled the longer your key positionals go unleveled. So I'd almost say I'd be giving up touchdowns to try and get the development, because you're running out of time before you hit next season, if it as it were. The carrying the ball is MNG, so I would like to see a hobgoblin pick this up and hand it off to a bull or a chorf next game.
I honestly would prefer to handing it off to the Chorfs, because they really do need the skills at this point in time. You're going to fall so far behind if you don't get them now.
They're still at least all blocked, so they can block their way to SPP. Bully Bullington's still on 2 and is defenseless, and your other bull doesn't have block. So it is a big... He's got a lot of money in the bank. I still wouldn't replace Chaos Bones. I'd keep him. He's your only claw. Stadium Enhancement, I'd buy level 2 and bank the rest personally at this stage.
Agreed.
Up next, your favourite team, so I'll let you deal with them.
Oh, he hasn't gone the level. He hasn't leveled up, so we don't get to recap this. Goodbye.
No. We'll make an exception to this.
No, we're not.
No, we will, because we're going to talk about how great the Tame Bear has been to his team.
Nope, we're not talking about it. He didn't level up. We have to stand for our principles, Nugget. I know you don't have any, but we have to stand by them.
But he's unbeaten with the Bear. He's scored 3 touchdowns every game he's had the Bear.
Congratulations, your bear can do things. Where's the bear? Bear got a Kaz. Done.
Right. Punish him. Right. Okay. Next up, Ramhard. Right. You could take Ramhard then.
Yeah. Sadly, picking up the minus movement on the Chaos Warrior with block, but I feel that you can actually just survive with that. It's not really a big deal, in my opinion, to have a movement busted warrior.
No, not terrible.
No.
Yeah,
But
it's got
otherwise,
block.
yeah.
I mean, as soon as you get money, I would replace it because this is the time in which to do it.
Yeah. But otherwise, it's just really just a slow grind for the first season Chaos. They just really need to get those SPP bit spread out on some of the Beastmen to just spread out the levels a bit. That Claw Mighty Blow is just going to do what Claw Mighty Blow does. I'd like to see you pick up block as the next skill, not necessarily piling on, because not having block leaves him susceptible to blitz,
1 in 9.
Kaz, and 1 in 9s too.
Yeah,
block will help him keep him on his feet and will stop the 1 in 9s from messing you up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, really isn't much to say there. I feel like we're just in a never-ending cycle of there's not much to say.
A lot of the teams going through that awkward middle period where they're getting SPP but not leveling.
Yeah.
Up next, we've got Hippie and his bleeding strippers. I was waiting to say
bleeding strippers.
They're kind of bleeding all over the place with them.
Well, they are wood elves.
They didn't have a death. He may be able to buy a secondary rule or replace the War Dancer next game.
That nickel on the War Dancer is not funny.
He's doing everything he can though with what he's got. Leveling both linemen up to dodge is nice. The Data Von Tease is still a tank, and the tree with block. So it's just he just needs a couple of games for gold and no death. Realistically,
just a couple of recovery matches to get the team back in order.
Yes, definitely so.
So just hang in there, Hippie. Do your best. Do what Wood Elves do, and And finally, the Dead Poles, coached by Demure Nickel. He has got Blodge on the Claw Mighty Werewolf. That's nice. That's very nice. And obviously Blodge Ghoul for, Blodge Ghoul reasons. I've got to say that I'm not the standing expert on Necromantic.
He's taking guard on whites, which I like. I'm a big fan of that. He's the Polian bonus bar is getting some SPP nice and quickly. You know what I mean? It's. I was surprised that the Mighty Blow didn't take tackle, took dodge. I would have took Mighty Blow tackle on a Razor May.
I honestly can see why the dodge was taken, because that is the most dangerous piece on this Necro team, and anyone who faces it is going to want to belt it into the ground. If they don't Kaz it, they're going to foul it. So having the Blodge keeps it on its feet for longer. It still has Claw Mighty, so it can still gain the SPP pretty quickly and then go for tackle.
Yeah.
So I can see why this option was taken.
It's an each and all. You know what I mean? Because obviously you will want it to take tackle at least next level, but if it gets a double next level, you've then got a Blodge Pommer instead of a Blodge Pom Tackler. Yeah. So it's that step, but it's you know what I mean. It's personal preference at that point. Dodge will help it disengage if needed and such. So it's very good on that side as well.
Absolutely, yeah. So that was it for looking at the teams. Razzle, just remember for next week, remember to level your team. Otherwise, we will not recap it.
Yes.
Going over and looking at next week's matches. 2 of them have already been played, so we're just going to ignore them.
Okay. So, the Blessed One versus the Bleeding Strippers.
Yes, the Bleeding Strippers. I would like to see Hippie win this. Just because he's had a really bad start to the season. He's really had a lot of deaths on the team, and this would be a nice recovery for him to beat.
Yeah.
Especially
also a big chance to pick up a nice win here. No sure hands on the Chaos, so the strip tackler, the strip movement can do a lot of damage here.
Yeah, and can really cause a lot of hassle. There's no tackle either, so your dodge pieces can stay on the ground a lot easier. The Full Metal Alchemist against the Hat-Tricks. That's a tough one.
Is this the real ones or Pyros?
This is the real
This is
ones.
the real ones. Ooh, I hope the Chorfs destroy him. I'm not gonna lie. Metal's getting a bit braggy these days. I think he needs a bit of a smacking to put him back into his place.
Only you could get away with saying that.
I do, trust me. So yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully the Chorfs.
But I mean, realistically, I think
mutual destruction would also be acceptable.
Yeah. Realistically, I think Metal, it's a bit in Metal's favor just purely because of those 4 strength 5 pieces. It's really going to be a problem for the Chorfs because they don't have a lot of guard. They have one piece with guard. It's going to be rough.
It will be. I expect to see a couple of red dice claw hits.
Yeah, I would expect that too, to be honest.
Yep.
Hummersep, the favoured one against Witches Be Trippin'.
Going back, my boy Hummer.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly think that the Zons are going to do really well because there's no tackle on the Delph team.
Tackle.
There's one tackle on the Delph team.
Not on the Mighty Blow.
Yeah. Just remember to stop basing with the Zons, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Exactly.
Moving on, Zinj Fecal Fantasy against Chubstep, the Dorflectric Mayhem. I could see Chubstep winning this, actually.
Yeah, I definitely could do so.
Early Nurgle is a great matchup for Dwarfs at this stage of the development. He's out-guarding him, he's out-blocking him, and, he's got the 2 Troll Slayers to deal with the Warriors if he doesn't want to spend too many blockers or blitzers to base up the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
We're going to ignore the Skaven Khemri game because it was played. And finally, we have Gajice's Pro Elves against Ravers' Dark Elves. I think
tough one.
I think this is actually a match that is in favor of the Pro Elves. Simply because that they're faster. They might be weaker, but they're faster and they have the catchers with Nerves of Steel.
Exactly. I expect this to be a high-scoring game.
So do I. Really. Yeah.
So it could be beneficial for both coaches.
Yeah, it really could. Just an absolute SPP grind.
Hopefully. Both coaches will probably be liking that as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think looking at the leaderboard...
We obviously have Razzle and Ambi-Tank up top because they've played more games. Ambi-Tanique. Yep. Because they've played more games, but, They have. The Chorfs...
Metal v Hat-Tricks. This is the big shout for possible top spot.
It is. It potentially is. I mean, if Metal wins this, it will put him up next to the Kleptocrats, and he will probably take ahead because he's got more casualties. In the plus side, of course. But, I mean, as it stands... wow, Gajice at the bottom. Poor lad. But yeah, I mean, just... pretty much what I could expect from this point, except that I don't like the top spot as it stands. That's got to be changed. I know McNugget likes the bear, but someone please step on its face.
Bear's OP. The bear helps him win games.
Yeah. And the thing you've all been waiting for. The tipping comp standings. So, staying at the top, we have Hummersep with 15 points, managing to rake in 3 this week. Demure Nickel keeping his second place with 12 points, tied with Pirate TJ at 12 as well. We have Ambi-Tank, Nugget, Razzle, Storm, and I at 11 points.
Sorry, can you say what position was I in there again?
We're on a split 3rd place.
Yep, and where's Zinj?
Singe is at 10 points. He's in the spot below us alongside Ramhard and Ravers.
So Zinj is below us and me that just guesses draws all week, or just so you hear that, Zinj, you're below me.
You're below the lazy people who just say fuck it all left, or fuck it all right, or fuck it all draws. His stonks are going to go down. We have Metal with 7 points, only going up by 1 because he copied I believe it was either Ambi or Barry's tips, and that only gave him 1 point. Hinders and Hippie forgot to tip this week, so they're both at 6 and 3 as they were last week. And I think both Nugget and I agreed that we were going to get the winner of the tipping comp something very lovely from the Tabletop World Cup.
I will. Yes.
As well as your Nugget picture of the day.
Nugget video of the day, more like.
Nugget video of the day, probably resulting in him lying in a bush, very, very drunk.
I do expect to be in a lot of bush at the weekend in Austria. You are right in that sense.
Oh dear.
I may be able to show you videos of me in the bush. I don't know if you want to see those sort of videos. That might be like the paywall, DLC, McNugget After Dark. You know, we'll raise some funds for Rebel, for the GoPro cam.
I think Metal's gonna have to do something about that and make it an official part of Rebel.
No, because then I'm subject to the rules, and that's not going to end well.
Alright,
Jeff.
that's what we had for you this week, lads. Sorry it came out a bit late. I've been a bit busy.
We've had
all
World
day
Cup
today.
stuff.
Yeah,
we cared about World Cup stuff more than you.
Yeah, so that was the thing. Yeah, we had to watch the press conference to see our draw. I had a job interview this morning. So yeah, in the immortal words of Gerber, stay classy, folks. Do you want to say it, Nugget? Do you want to say it as well?
I'm higher than you on the tippings, and you get fucked.
Take care, lads.
Bye bye.